2. Hey, hi, hello. It's the LaSala Show, episode 60. This is March 9th, 2024. My guest today, tonight, tomorrow, or your yesterday is Mr. Quincy Cameron Hilliard. Cam, what up, though?
What's going on, my brother? Brother from
Yo,
another mother?
yo, man, it's been way too fucking long, dog.
It has, dude. How long has it been since we even kicked it?
Um, it must have been very unmemorable because that shit was a long time ago.
I think it was memorable. It was probably one of those times we went to do Halloween in Baton Rouge or something.
Oh my God.
Or maybe when you guys would come over to my house in Houston and Tune Day and all you guys came that one time. It was something like that. It was a while ago, though.
Yeah, it's been far too long and
Too long.
it's it's time to catch the fuck up. I mean, what you sipping on right there? Let me see. Let me match you. I got some Gatorade,
Okay,
but
okay.
this is actually vodka, so cheers.
This is grape juice, but we call it wine.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, man. It's good to see you, man. I was talking about you the other day actually, because my dad, I think I messaged you this, but my dad won this award at UL. It was a really prestigious award, and I think every year maybe three or four professors get it. And I'm going through the book, seeing who got it in the past. And of course, I see your father's name in there, and I think, oh my gosh, your dad paved the way before my dad got it. But it was pretty cool to kind of see that, see your dad's name and such in there.
How weird is it to grow up under the tutelage of such greatness in your father? And I mean, from what I can see, you've kind of lived up to it. I'm still kind of living in the fucking shadows of his ass hairs, you know?
Yeah, man. It's funny you say that because I think maybe from my dad is extremely diligent and a hard worker, and I think in that way I had no choice but to pick up those things from him. Uh, he would be the type that Saturday morning, 7 a.m., he'd bring in a vacuum cleaner and just start like vacuuming near your door and then hitting your door with a vacuum and then peek in. And we would act asleep. And then I'd hear him peek his head in and say, Cam, Cam, that's okay. I'll get y'all ass in a minute. Close the door.
Damn, dog.
Like, so we woke up, we had to be on it. But it's funny because as I grew up and kind of grew out, I would say, into my own, um, we all I feel like we all our parents always have this idea of us that they want us to live up to, and it doesn't matter how much you try, you'll never live up to it in that way. And I think in that way, there are still some things. I think he's proud of me. I think he's happy with what I've accomplished, but I think he wish I would have done it more his way and not my own way.
Right.
And because maybe he feels like my way is a little more risky, or maybe some things that I did were some things he wouldn't have done. And I think in those ways, it's kind of anxiety for him. But we all make our parents proud in their own way, whether they choose to admit it or not, and we all disappoint them, whether they choose to admit it or not, no
Oh
matter.
yeah. And I mean, are you gonna have kids anytime soon?
Yeah, actually, man, we have one on the way. Three weeks. Look at this.
Holy shit,
I'm
son.
literally in the makeshift nursery right now.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations.
Guy.
Damn,
Yeah.
all right. So do you have any names picked out? Is it Larry or Jesse or both?
Larry. And
Okay. All right. It's fair.
no, we picked Cairo, so it'll be my dad's Quincy Charles Hilliard. My grandfather was Quincy Christ Hilliard. My name's Quincy Cameron Hilliard, and he'll be Quincy Cairo Hilliard. So
Fucking right, man. So
yeah,
y'all decided to find out the sex of the child.
yes, yes,
You're
yes.
not
We
you're not
chose
gonna predetermine what it is.
Jesse. You know me, man. I need to plan as much of my life as I can. It's like, do you want to be surprised? No, I'd like to
No.
know so I can start planning this boy's our girl's future.
Right, right, right. All right. So, okay. Have I met your wife?
I don't believe you have.
Okay.
She was actually at the ceremony where my dad received that award. So she's aware of you and your family because I was like, oh, this is Jesse. We used to hang out together and did all this, da da da. So she's aware of you, but I don't think she's met you. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And you're still in Houston, but I imagine you're not like next to a 7-Eleven. Like you probably like living in what is it, the Highlands? What's it called?
No, we're so actually it's funny you say that. I live very close to a Valero, but it's
That's what they
but
call
it,
them. I forgot
the
about
Valero,
Valero.
but it's cool because we have this nice townhome. It's a nice townhome in East Downtown, so it's a really transitional area. Um, but it's very eclectic. So you have a lot of the art scene here. You have a lot of the underground music scene here. I invested in a bar close by, so we have like a bar nearby that we can walk to, and really it's just like this community that I feel like is more rooted in uh the personality and who you are that matters. It's not just about how much what kind of car you drive or this or that. So
Right.
I
Well,
still drive that old Prius.
I was about to say, I was like, where is the Prius?
I'm still driving it, man. I was waiting for the Cybertruck and then Elon just decided to screw everybody. So
Yo, this motherfucker used to sneak up on people in that Prius. I imagine you still do. You just be like, all of a sudden, this motherfucker just be outside your house. All right, okay.
it's a lot louder and a lot clankier now.
Hey, man, if it still runs, you gotta run it, baby.
A to B, A to B.
As long as they got a baby seat or enough room for a baby seat back there.
Yep.
So I had a few questions just because I was running through my mind of some of the my best memories of back in the day, and you can pass on some of these if you don't feel like speaking on them. But
Yeah.
you remember AOL Instant Messenger?
Of course.
I mean, I think you were probably the king of. Remember that little kadoosh whenever the door would close, and then the yo, you. First of all, anytime I would go spend the night at your house, like it was like living in a mansion. Y'all had like all like the good snack foods. Like it was like I was coming from like Nutri-Grain bars to all of a sudden y'all had like the little Debbie's just like on stack. And then we would go up to your little lair with like you had like four different gaming consoles. It's like, oh, you want to play 2K on the Dreamcast that they don't even make anymore? You want to play PlayStation over here? We got Super Nintendo. Then I'm over here chatting with some hoes on AOL Instant.
What was it? The ASLP?
Yeah,
ASL? Yeah,
yeah,
ASL.
age, sex, location, baby.
And pick. Now then it turned into pick. I need to know if you have a pick or not.
Oh, I forgot about the pick.
ASLP.
Yeah, yeah, dude. So you were above, like you were ahead of the curve when it came to that. Like,
You
and then
think so, man? Really?
I think you kind of had that shit on lock. Yeah, because I think you were one of the first ones with like a car, and you had some real estate to bring these hoes back to, and
Yeah, man.
you had
It's
the
it's it's
the BBC room. I mean,
the Bad Boys Club.
I can't speak too much on it, but I know I
If
saw
you
my
know, you
name.
know.
If you know, you know. I saw
If you
my
know, you
name.
know.
I've
And it's
been
still
there.
there. It's still there. Your
Yeah,
name is still signed in that book.
it fucking better be. I don't want no white out over my damn name.
Did I tell you there were some girls that we brought back once, and they were and we, obviously we would get canceled for this today, but they were writing they went in the book and they were like, oh, we were like, this is a bad boys club, only guys can sign their name, and they thought it'd be funny to sign their name anyway. Well, it came to my light that they had signed their name. Some two girls had signed their name. I don't think my dad ever found out who did it or who allowed it, but they ended up getting their names whited out. Like
This
to
ain't
this day, you can go to that page and there's like two whiteouts for those
this
hills.
ain't no bad bitch club. This is yeah, I think I know who those girls were too. That's funny.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah. So okay, another thing that came to mind.
Hmm.
I wanted to know your first job, but wait, it was before you were actually a Frito-Lay salesman outside the back of the Lafayette High School band room
Oh my gosh, you're bringing up memories.
because
My,
you were hustling before hustling was hustling. And um for those who don't know, like during lunch or whatever, Cam would be out there with like a big sack of Cheetos, Fritos, Funyuns, and all that bullshit, selling it out the back of the band room, 50 cents a bag or whatever, cleaning up, son.
I remember
And
putting those 50 cents in the timpanis, like I was just on the little marimba
yeah,
drums. I was
just stacking them and shit,
like,
monopoly money for this man. But what was the first job? I forgot that you were like one of the first ones that got a job.
the first job I ever had, I think, was like Wendy's or something, man. I think I
Okay.
worked at Wendy's, maybe like flipping burgers at night.
Yeah, okay. I remember it was something like it wasn't like, uh like straight to business school or some shit
No,
like
I had to grind. I had to make it out, to make it out the hood,
yeah, yeah.
the settlement.
All them Funyuns, man. It got you somewhere, but god damn, I just remember. And then it kind of inspired me too because my mom would always pack me a lunch, or she would just buy the necessary shit for us to make our own lunch, and we would just put that shit in a brown paper bag. And then I knew during science class, right before lunch, all the dudes in the back that I would beatbox with, they'd be like, "Yo, man, I'll give you $1 for them goldfish," or Then I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Cameron, dog, I'm over here selling." Oh
Awesome.
yeah. And then they would always have those like little fundraisers for like whatever the
Candy.
yeah, you just be walking around with a big bag of candy, and I would eat half the shit, and then I would go to my mom like the next week and be like, "Hey, I need you to write me a check." Like,
You know what they say, never get high on your own supply,
I
man.
was getting real high on,
Bro,
and
did I tell you? Did you know that after they so that the principal came and shut me down? You knew that,
right,
right?
right. I knew there was some scandal.
Yeah, he came, so he waited in line, and I was like,
Oh
Dr.
shit!
Leonard, Dr. Leonard's in line. What is he doing here? And then he comes and he walks up because he's like, I'm not gonna cut the line. He walks up and he says, you know, I'm okay. I think that's really creative what you're doing, but you have to shut this down. The school board says you have to shut this down. And he said, and give me a bag of Funyuns. And he just takes them. He didn't even pay. And I got bullied. And then a year later, they put a potato chip machine. They put a chip machine and they sold them for
Right
$1.
there.
They sold them
Damn.
for $1. I sold them for 50 cents. They pushed the little man out, man. They pushed the little
Yo,
man out.
they s-
And
they they took advantage of the market, and wow,
isn't
that's
that crazy?
outrageous.
That was my first business lesson. It's like, you know what? You gotta you gotta try to fly under the radar. That's really what I learned from that. Like if you're a nail that sticks out, you're gonna get hammered down. So if you can find a way to make your money or make your little impact and get what you need out of this life without making too much of a splash. If you're famous, people are gonna you're gonna stick out. You're gonna stick out. People will get tax evasion. Well, it's like who doesn't mess up their taxes one year or another, or do mess up? So then if you're famous, it's like, well, he's a target. But if you're like the agent to a famous person, nobody knows their name. You just fly under the radar and make your money. So that was
Yeah,
what I learned from that.
yeah, and you set a precedent, I think is what's most important. And yeah, I flew under the radar for sure. I was just dealing in Miss Monroe or Morrow's class.
That's fun.
Yo, Miss Morrow was fine too. But okay, so what is your credit score right now?
Oh boy. Eight
Yeah.
I think it's like 805, 820, something like that.
Holy shit, son. All right. Well,
But
to
you
be
know, it's crazy though. I can't. So this is so silly. So I found out yesterday. I was trying to buy a tiny home recently, and I couldn't get a loan. And I'm like, why? My credit score is so good, this and that. It was because I'd opened up too many of those credit cards where you get like bonus points for spending like the minimum $1,000,
and
and
then
you get
paying it
enough
back.
and paying it back and never using them again, and then I close them, and then they're like, that ruined my credit profile. So what I learned recently, and this is like I'm 39 and I'm learning this, your credit score is one thing, your credit profile is another. If you have a lot of closed accounts on average, and that brought my average, because what my dad did when I was born, he opened a credit card in my name and would just do little stuff. So I had this 39-year credit, but I lowered the average because I had all these extra cards that I would close after a year. So
Ah,
my lesson from that, still learning, right? Student of the world, always learning, is like your credit pro score is great, but your credit profile matters more. I couldn't freaking get a loan for this tiny home, dude.
that's unreal. I mean,
Yeah.
my credit score is so low, I can't even say it live on the air right now. It's that bad. But
Mm-hmm. Are you working on getting it up?
not really. I think actually the world's probably gonna be over. Not to
When's
be
the
too
election? When's the new election?
not to be too dark, but pretty soon. And I kind of just don't care, I guess.
Mhm.
But yeah, I have taken the steps necessary to get, like you said, some credit cards and pay them off. I'm doing that thing right now
Good, man. Good.
because I have a fiance and she's kind of whipping my ass into shape and all that. So
It's about time. Good, congratulations, man.
yeah,
Congratulations, dude.
it's been 8 years, but
So y'all been engaged for 8 years, or you've been dating for 8 years and you just got engaged?
no, we've been dating for 5 years, and I asked her to marry me right around when the pandemic started. So yeah,
Awesome, man.
yeah,
Awesome. I'm happy for you, bro.
yeah, man. It's I
How's
stole
it
her,
feel?
I stole her away from New York, and it feels good. I mean,
Yeah.
I only feel bad because I took her away from her family in New York for this Lafayette, Louisiana ass town,
Mm.
and we're kind of stuck here for the time being.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be good times. It's gonna be good times.
Good, man. Yeah, as long I'm sure as long that's what it's about. You could with the right person, you could and you guys, we used to have so much fun, and we just used to me, you, Sean Pronzel, Larry, Tunde, all those guys, like, and we could do anything. It wouldn't matter if we were just listening to music on the like our in band on break, freestyling and just doing it doesn't matter, but it's the people you're with, I think that if you have somebody that you can, no matter what the situation, you can find humor in it, laugh in it, and try to, that's what matters, man. So if you could do that with her, that's awesome.
That's the main point is like we never
Mhm.
stay mad at each other. Like it's never like a big argument. Like there's
Yeah,
always something to laugh about, you know? Like she can make fun of me, I can make fun of her, and then it's like nothing ever happened. So
yeah,
I think there's always something there where well obviously getting older and not having as much jealousy and like I just remember like being in high school and some of the relationships in college where you just like obsess over like, oh, you think he's better looking than me, or you like him more, or why are you looking at him? Like this is the
yeah.
first girl where I was just like, give a fuck. like like for some reason I just have like some confidence around her
That's great.
and that's just something that I hadn't ever felt before. So I had to lock it down. But uh pretty boring topic. Sorry about that.
Oh, dude, it's good, Kurt. It's good.
You're gonna meet her one day because we're coming to Houston. We're gonna come crash your crib before your baby gets born, and maybe
Call me up.
come to a Rockets and Pacers game, and hopefully the Pacers don't lose. Um, so okay, you're still driving the fucking Prius. Does your girl have a nicer car than you?
No, man. She drives like a maybe it's a newer, but it's like a 2009 Nissan Versa.
That's
We yeah, we don't spend, like we don't it's weird, man. Like to me, the important thing to us, the important things aren't really I'm sure we would like a nice car, but like cars are expensive. Interest rates, the insurance, all of that car payment is so expensive. So what we did was we just bought cars off Craigslist. We just bought them paid cash outright. And if something break, we have the lowest insurance. And if something breaks, we just buy it. So I think for that Prius, it's probably like on 300,000 miles. I had to replace the electric battery a grand. Okay, so the down payment on a new car is a grand. And
exactly.
yeah, and maybe I had to replace a few other things. So let's just say I put in 3 grand over the last 5 years. If I had bought a new car or something like that, I would be paying much more just in interest. So and she understands that too. I think we want to get something that's safe now that we have Cairo coming, um, a little more reliable and safe. And so we are looking. That was big topic. I wanted to get the Cybertruck, and when it came out that it was so much less than advertised, I said, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to sign up for this. And it's so much more money. It's crazy. You said it was going to be so much less. I'm really mad about that stuff.
Yeah, so take these leaders of ours to task. All right.
Hmm.
Take take Elon.
Okay.
Fuck him up real quick. Tell me how you
Well,
really feel.
well, I mean, like, if you or anyone else, like if you or me was to go out and tell our girl, hey, babe, this is how tall I am. I'm 6'10", and my junk is this big. And whenever I know I'm the best cook in the world, and I have a house that's 12 acres. And then she comes over and you're like 6'1", and she comes over and your thing is not this big. Or and she goes to your house and it's not 12 acres. It might still be good, but it's not what you said. At some point she's gonna say, like, you just a liar. And you're not a genius just for making these claims that anyone that would be nice to have, and then forcing your engineers to do the work, like saying, I don't care if you know how to make it happen. And I think that's what happens. He goes and says what he wants to happen, and he goes back to his engineers and said, did you see my interview? This is what I said. Okay, I need you to make that a reality. And they're like, what the hell, that wasn't in the original specs.
Right.
And he's like, I don't care. That's what they're looking for. And then they don't do it. And he's like, well, still buy my stock. I just don't like that. I think it's deceptive. And I don't want to buy a car from somebody that I have the same respect for as a used car salesman who just trying to get his car off the lot. He's going to tell you whatever you want to hear. And I don't trust that. So I can't buy a car from somebody like that.
Okay, so assuming you can't buy a car from someone like that, I don't think you're exactly on the neuro chip in the brain. Is that going to
What
be a deal breaker for you?
Me getting a neural chip in my brain?
Yeah.
Well, what does it allow me to do?
Okay, so for what I understand is it's going to basically make you obsolete if you don't get it because
How
it's going to become something that everyone has where they can get something plugged into your brain where you can understand all these different languages, you know everything. It's just going to turn everybody into superhumans, and if you don't
Oh,
have it, you're not going to get hired anywhere and you're just going to become like phased out of society.
then I'm gonna be phased out with the rest of the drugs because I don't want that.
I know, and I feel the same way, but it's like, yo, when the PS5 came out, I was like, man, I ain't playing this PS4 no more. Fuck this, you know?
Yeah.
On a smaller level, that's kind of just how I felt. But I mean, what if it really does come down to, like, let's say in 10 years or maybe even less, like, oh, You heard John doesn't have a Neuralink? Like that motherfucker's living like in the old times, you know?
Hmm.
That dude's still looking shit up on his phone. He can't even like see like those goggles that people are wearing and they're like
Oh, screw
they're
that.
they're fighting people all over the world. Like, yo, all that shit looks nuts right now, but look how crazy like cell phones looked back in the day and like I said, I'm getting worried about the future.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I'll say this though. You know, there are I feel like the younger generation, while they not not the millennials, not the Gen Z, the generation below them, the next generation, that generation, I feel like they're gonna be able to they're gonna be able to spot, or maybe it is Gen Z, I don't know, maybe Gen Z, but they just kind of spot bullshit a little more. And like, if you look at who's buying the Cybertrucks, if you look at who's buying the houses, if you look at who's buying these Apple guy, it's not Gen Z. They don't, well, they didn't have the money right now, but if they, even if they did, they're not buying it because it's kind of almost like they see through that. So maybe it's marketed to a certain group or generation that we're closer to, that we see, that's like all into it. But like, I don't know anybody in my social circles. I don't know anybody, period, that wants an Apple iFace whatever thing for 5 grand, that you could do some stuff that you could do on your phone, tune it out, be on Mars. It's gonna be like that Black Mirror episode. They just advertise to you whenever they want. I don't want that. That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's mostly sex.
It's, I don't mind that, but you know, look, it
That
makes you
part's fine.
that, yeah, they could advertise that. They could show But like, they show you stuff that's not there. Just imagine, dude, you're drinking your Gatorade, right? And I have the Neuralink, and they're like, well, we don't, Gatorade isn't an approved sponsor, so we're going to change that to Powerade. So you're talking about something, to me, all I see is Powerade.
Right.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to corrupt my view on the truth. We already have enough of that already with politics, bipartisan politics. We're getting advertised to all the time. You have TVs now. Roku just updated their terms of service to advertise to you on your home screen. So when you open it up, they're advertising to you. That's how they sell their TVs so cheap. That's crazy, man.
We had to take a short break. Zoom has a paywall apparently, and they don't pay me to use this place, so we're here now. Yeah, we uh we were talking about AI, we were talking about the future, we were talking about how you don't even care about sports. Yes, I am still a Packers fan. I'm still a Pacers fan. And
Yeah.
how how was that perceived to you when we were younger? Like how insane did I appear with my fandom?
It was kind of like, a extension of you, man. I just remember Jesse LaSala, Packers fan. Anytime I saw Packers, it was like Jesse LaSala. And I think that's what you and my dad really vibed on when y'all would talk. He was a Packers fan because I think that was the first professional football team game he went to, and that's why he like just started cutting for them. But yeah, and he had the cheese head, he had the wedge hat too.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember he went to Wisconsin for something and he brought me back all kind of shit, man. I still
Oh,
have
for
some of
real?
that. Oh
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
He went to Brett Favre Steakhouse and he brought me back a bunch of I have it all over my room still, a bunch of the stuff that he
Mhm.
brought.
See,
Yeah,
he
man.
treated you. He did stuff for you. He didn't do. He didn't bring me shit back.
You weren't a Packers fan,
I
dog.
want to.
You weren't no Phi Slamma Jamma, go
I
Pack
would.
go, you know? So okay, but why didn't you play any sports? Because your brother was like a all-star pitcher, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't. I played soccer, but I don't know, man. I guess I just I wasn't that great. Like when it came, soccer was the only sport I really played. Oh, I have this terrible basketball story when I was a kid. If you're open to hearing it. So when they do the I think I was in middle school, and growing up in the white side of Lafayette, Louisiana, I was the only black kid in these tryouts. So of course all the white coaches, the dads of the team are like, "Oh man, yeah, these new kids, this I'm gonna get him first." They're probably thinking I'm gonna get this guy. Ah, no, I'm gonna get first pick. I'm gonna get that black kid. So, first pick comes and they select me, and I just walk over to the guy's team. He's like, "All right, go." He gets his team together, and then now they're starting doing drills and stuff. And the guy sees how bad I am, and I think that was probably the point where he had to re-examine his personal biases and say, not all stereotypes are true. This black kid does not know how to play basketball.
Yo, you were like the Stanley of The Office. Remember when Michael Scott's like, I got Stanley. And then Stanley starts trying to dribble and he's like, are you kidding me?
I was totally Stanley. Yeah, I was young Stanley. That's oh my gosh. Yeah, but like I wasn't really that athletic. I think I was just I could sprint, and that's why I was good at soccer, but whenever we got older and people actually had ball control, they just left me in the dust. So it wasn't anything I really wanted to keep doing.
Yeah, I remember every time we would have like some sort of pickup game or even like football,
Mhm.
me
Yeah,
and
because we did flag football, remember?
Yeah, me and Larry and Tune would try to get you to come out and I just remember you would run like a fucking pony. Like you would just like gallop and shit.
You
But
were on the flag football team with us.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Me, my dad, and Mr. Nate were coach. Remember?
Yeah, yeah. I was a
Remember that time I caught the kickoff and my glasses fell off, and I'm like, wait, I don't break my glasses. And I picked them up, put them on, and then I ran for the touchdown.
They were like, all right, respect, respect.
Right. Okay. On time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Time out. On time.
I remember that was the first time I ever had to run a 40-yard dash because your dad was like, all right, I'm gonna see what kind of speed we got on this hag. We were at Angel Hall, like on that field, and I must have came in last or some shit. But they were like, all right, you're gonna be in the front of the convoy.
What they do, the convoy, that's right. Because the flying V would have got copyright infringement. So they called it the.
Yeah, the convoy, but we set that shit up nice though.
That was good, man. Good times. Yeah, we had some good memories, man.
All right, what was the last time or the first time you remember laughing so hard that you started crying?
Oh
Like
my.
where like you could not hold it back. I mean, I'll give you a second, but like I remember like being in school. That was like really like pretty much the peak time where you could really get in trouble for laughing. And
Hmm. Hmm.
like I had Miss Dooms and she was like this really strict math teacher and she kind of had like Michael Strahan's teeth, where he could fit like a whole tooth in between
All
his
this.
two front tooth. And she was like super strict and everything and she said one of these terrible statements where it was like the next person to make a noise is gonna go to straight to detention. And she had like a,
Gross.
a lisp and everything too, so like it kind of made everything worse. Like she would fuck her words up and everything.
Hmm.
And she fucked her whole like thread up. Like she was like trying to make a real hard thread and she just fucked it all up. And so
Yeah.
me and my boy, I was like, I didn't want to look at him and like I glanced over at him and he was just like had his whole face was red. And then so we were just both like it looked like we were like constipated trying to like get a shit out. And tears started coming out of my eyes just because
That's funny.
I was just trying so hard not to laugh. And then eventually, like somebody else laughed first, and so they got in trouble, and then everybody just started laughing. So that,
Yeah.
god damn, but that was like a good, healthy laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn.
Yeah. You need those, man. They're far and few in between nowadays. I'll tell you, my wife can be pretty funny. Like that's what I think, I love. One of the things I love most about her. Like like we talked about, you have to have a way to laugh with your partner. You have to be able to, because life can be tough and life can be fucked up and life can be sad, but you have to be able to get back to a place where you can have a good, healthy laugh. So, she can help make me laugh, but I'd say probably the period at which I laughed the hardest was gonna be high school because you guys like our funny staff. Remember the funny staff? Like Larry, David Schneider, Vince Fontana, Casey Bergeron, all those guys, all of us hanging out. We had this group called the Funny Staff, and these guys were just like we just had so the sarcasm or Larry's timing or like Vince's just dry sense of humor when it came and it was just always so great. So like we had a lot of fun in band, man. I would say band was probably the time where I would just consistently laughing just way too hard.
Oh yeah, there were some killers. There were some killers. And none of them are comedians these days, you know? Like you would think at least one of them would have gone on to be like a stand-up or something, but you know,
Yeah,
they're all
yeah,
family men and they got their jokes out back
yeah,
then.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You did comedy for a bit.
Well, I did it in New York and
Yeah.
I quit doing it when I got down here because yo man, Lafayette's not funny. You can't have fun down here. Uh it's
We were trying
it's
to open it. We at the bar. We were trying to start a comedy night in Houston, and there's some good comics here. But I would say they don't. I don't know. I don't want to say anything negative, but let's
but I,
just like when you hear somebody that's a real comedian, they stand out. You know what I mean? I haven't seen many people here that just stand out to me that aren't already famous.
right, right. And you know, a lot of the stuff that was working for me in New York,
Hmm.
I tried to bring down when we moved down here, and all of a sudden I was getting like approached afterwards by the open mic host and saying,
Hmm.
"Man, you can't be saying that kind of shit." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Really?
The motherfuckers were laughing. Like he's like, "Yeah, man, that's just disrespectful. Like you can't be saying those words." And I wasn't saying the N word. I wasn't like, you know, like
Yeah.
so what the hell are you talking about? Like I was up in Queens doing this shit and it was fine, you know? Like so I don't know. I kind of quit going because first of all, it was a waste of time, you know? Even though it
Mm.
was like 5 minutes away from my house. Whereas it in New York, you had to like take the train 45 minutes to go get 3 minutes of stage time.
Yeah.
But for some reason it felt like more of a community up there because you saw the same people once a week.
Right.
And
Right.
I knew on Wednesdays I was gonna go to this place. Thursdays, this was a good crowd.
Yeah.
And then Friday and Saturdays was usually for like headliners and shit. But then
Yeah.
like Mondays you could catch some like at 2 in the afternoon, you could go like down like in Manhattan and catch like a 2 o'clock in the afternoon mic. Just like
Hmm.
for some random ass business dudes on their lunch or whatever. And that
Hmm.
shit was
Hmm.
wild. And I
Yeah.
was I was delivering flowers at that time. So like
Really?
I would go deliver flowers to like Mary Kate and whatever Ashley Olsen,
Hmm.
and then
You would deliver them to them? Like those were your deliveries?
yeah, dude, I would deliver to Michael Kors,
Oh,
like
that's okay.
the bitch that I mean, sorry, I shouldn't say that. The nice woman who made these beautiful flower arrangements, she was like high class clientele type of woman, you know,
Okay.
and so I was like going all over Manhattan, taking the train going up, I would have to like show my ID just to get clearance to go up into these buildings. I delivered to Facebook headquarters, to Zuckerberg, all these bitches, all
Yeah.
these, and then I would go stop off and do some stand up, and then get right back on the train and go pick up some more flowers. Like that was like my first year there, so
Yeah.
that was fun. Going to Artmosphere and paying $5 to go on stage and tell jokes in front of some conservative ass pussies. That's not what I'm I'm here for. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have a I have a feeling you could go up and just wing it and be funnier than some of the motherfuckers down here.
We know, we have a lot of I would say It's funny. There was a there was an open mic night here, and I guess the stage was over, so everybody had left. And for some reason, I guess I'd had too many shots. I just jumped up and started doing like some Seinfeld-esque type humor.
Fucking right.
And then like the people were laughing, but then like the security came over and he's like,
Uh,
okay, guys, that's my time. Tip your waiters. He wasn't a prick about it because I guess he thought he's like, this guy's kind of funny, but you got to sign up. You can't do this.
right,
You
right,
can't
right.
get off the stage.
You're a little too funny.
Yeah, yeah. You're out of pocket, buddy. Just get off. But no, I
Well,
think it would be fun. We know how to find the humor in things. Like even you're always good at that. We had some interesting things happen growing up. In Lafayette, Louisiana, which is when we grew up, it was a crazy town. It was, I mean, like when I say crazy, I mean the underlying undertones of subtle racism that exist in this town.
oh
Um,
yeah.
Especially when we were younger, like when we were growing up. And then those impacted us in ways that we're probably looking back now and we're now seeing, oh my God, that had an impact on me, this or that, right? Going to my, friends' houses for house parties and then having their parents follow me to the bathroom when I was in middle school, like what, to
Wow.
make sure like oh, okay, the bathroom's over here and following me to make, like stuff like that. I mean,
Did
little
my
things
parents
like
ever
that.
do that shit to you?
No, man. No, no, not at all. Not at all. No, no. Um,
I'll go beat my dad up right
no,
now.
your mom and your dad were great. Your mom and your dad and your sister was awesome too, man. Y'all whole family was awesome. But you have to deal with that at some point, and you look back and you have to be able to either get mad about it, or you have to be mad about it. You can choose to be mad about it, or you can choose to kind of like turn into a subject that you can turn that anger into something that is more positive. Bernie Mac was really good at that. He said he
Or
would take his
yeah, humorous, yeah.
he'd take his pain and he would find a way to that's how he let it out. That's what he would say.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think recently me and Larry, one of our mutual friends, got into an argument because
you and Larry argue? Get out of here.
I
No way.
know, right?
Larry never argues. He never argues.
He had the outrageous claim that I was a Trump supporter. And it was just like he was just trying to start a fight. It was just like, I'm bored. I
Larry
got
trying to start a fight? No way. No way.
and then I took the bait, dog. I was like, what am I doing here? What am I thinking? Why would I do this? And I was like, motherfucker, how stupid could you be? Like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, look at you, call me names. I'm a black man and you call me. I'm like, all right, here we go. Here we go. So I just, sometimes you have to block Larry.
Yeah, it's actually I think about this a lot, but me and Larry we haven't really talked much in the past 2 or 3 years. Um, we just kind of I don't know, man. I don't want to really get into it, not too
Yeah,
deep,
no,
but
no. I didn't mean to
but
get there.
personal stuff. But I think in the end, I felt like I guess I just feel like yeah, when you're a friend to somebody, there are things that you do for your friend, and there are things that you as a friend you would expect from a friendship. And I just feel like at some point I always considered him a really good friend, but when it came time for him to show it, I didn't feel like it was really reciprocated in the ways that I have done it. And because of those things, it really rubbed me the wrong way. Now I know the listeners probably don't know who these guys are. Who's Larry? Who's this person? But think of it as basically like me and him were like, I don't know, how would you describe us? In high school, we were the what would you describe us as? We're like Mike Larry and Marcus Burnett on Bad Boys. We're like the Bad Boys cops. We're like always together, always hanging out.
I didn't need to cast y'all as black people. I was about to
Mhm.
say, Jerry and George from
Yeah,
Seinfeld.
yeah, yeah. Jerry and George. Yeah, yeah.
And
Jerry and
I
George.
was I was Kramer.
Kramer. Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, to the listeners, just think of your best friend that you're sort of estranged from, and
Yeah, so
do do
it's
your own
tough.
math.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
was tough. It was tough, but I just feel like it was, I just feel like I needed that break from myself and to kind of focus on because I do have other friends. I do have friends who actually I feel like are that to me. And as much fun as I always hang out, whenever me and Larry are together, it's always a good time. It's always great. But I just feel like you know, maybe, maybe that's what it is, you know? Like you
yeah,
have that's what it is. That's what our relationship is. We get together and we have fun. We make have, pal around, joke around, make fun of this and that, and he's funny as shit, and we have some intellectual discussions, and then that's it. Because I wouldn't really call him if I needed something, if I was in need. And recently I've been in situations like more like that, you know?
yeah.
So,
Well, to get on a lighter note, because I don't want to drag people down, but I have some.
yeah.
This is a segment I call "Stupid, Ridiculous Questions" that also I'd like to know the answers to.
Let's go.
What was the grocery store that you went to growing up?
Wow, Albertsons.
There you go, right by the settlement. All
Yeah,
right,
we repped Albertsons. F that Piggly Wiggly.
that was that was mine. and then and then we transitioned to Albertsons when they opened it. What was the go-to pizza place?
Oh gosh. BJ's? BJ's Pizza? No.
BJ's, dude. They just recently closed,
No, for real?
and they had a fucking line out the goddamn door, like in the parking lot.
How did
And
they close?
they closed, and now they're reopening. I think it
Oh,
was
good
a
for
whole
them.
yeah, it was a whole scheme. But
Oh.
yeah, yo, the way they cut their slices to where it just like fit right in your mouth. Yeah,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Pets growing up. I don't really remember this part. I Did y'all have dogs or cats or anything?
We did. We had a dog. We had a couple dogs. We had two dogs, one named Princess and then one named Aldo.
Okay, but you weren't really like too into the
I
pets.
I was into them, but my parents kept them outside, and I think whenever I got to Houston, I ended up getting a pet that we kept inside, and you have a deeper connection with your pet when they're
Oh
like a member
yeah,
of your family when they're inside with you. We just kept them outside. And it's like, oh, we have to feed Aldo again. Boom, fed him. Okay, well now we no one fed him. No one fed. So it's
right,
like a wild animal that's just in your backyard. I don't really see the point in that when it comes to pets. Let them inside. They're a member of the family. Let them just walk about and teach them to be potty trained. So they use the restroom like you use the restroom. They
right,
use it outside, you use it in the toilet. Boom, we're done.
dude. How? Okay, so I have a lot of pets. I got a fucking veiled chameleon. I have an Australian tree frog. I got three regular tree frogs and three uh anole lizards. And
You're
then
like Dr.
and
Doolittle
then
over here.
yeah, dude, and then three cats. And they're all living amongst me and they all interact with each other and shit.
You're
And
ensconced.
yeah, and I don't know what I would do without them because they all have their like weird personalities and everything. But you remember Josh Murata?
Yeah, dude. Me and him, we went on a trip last year.
Fucking right. He was the one that got me into all this kind of weird tank shit with the turtles and the
Turtles
frogs and
and shit. Yeah.
everything.
He
Yo,
still has them now. In his New Orleans house, he has a backyard and he puts his turtles in back there.
that's awesome. That makes me feel so great because every time I go, I have to like make, weekly trips to Petco and
Mhm.
fucking pick up crickets.
Yeah.
God, crickets are the bane of my existence where I have to just throw these motherfuckers in the tank and they inevitably one of them hops out and ends up sleeping with me. It's terrible. Uh your high school life we already kind of went over. College. Okay.
Mhm.
Remind me where you went to college?
Tulane in New Orleans. I think y'all came to visit me a few times. Or we met in Baton Rouge. But I went to
Oh,
Tulane.
and you performed there too.
No, some guys that I knew performed. I kind of helped them set it up. Like I was
Okay.
on student council, so but I was really close with the guys that performed. So I got them on stage to perform, and then they opened up for like Talib Kweli, Mystical, and who else? I
Doom
forgot
and
who.
Soul Live, and that was a
Yeah,
hot.
they opened up for a few other people. Yeah.
That's fucking nice.
Yeah,
Do you
man.
or your girl have live, laugh, love anywhere in your house?
No, we're not that basic.
Did y'all have any of that growing up?
No, we didn't do that.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
No,
Were you
we had drink, drink, drink. Drink, drink, and then drink some more.
drank, drank, drunk?
Yeah, yeah, there you
uh, what was your most lavish family vacation?
My lavish family vacation. Ooh, that's a good question.
Did it involve a passport?
Yeah, probably. Okay, so my dad, he had a tour in Europe once, and we went to like 14 different countries in a matter of a month. One summer.
Jesus Christ.
It was a summer in middle school. And that was probably the most lavish. But really, it was financed by the company that wanted him to go because he was a band director. He was a conductor on there, and so that was kind of cool. I got to see a lot of countries. I was too young to really appreciate it. Actually, I couldn't wait to get back and get on AOL, talk to everyone.
Exactly. Dude, okay, so yeah, along the same lines, I was 13. My father teaching architecture abroad in
Yeah,
Paris and London,
yeah,
and I'm probably like the horniest I've ever been in my entire life. All I want to do is jack off and look at college girls and play Uno.
Where did Uno come from?
Well, that's what they were all doing in the lobby, you know? So I was like, Dad, let me get down there and play some Uno. You know, all I want to do is stare at these, 19-year-old, 20-year-old girls' tits, and
Yeah,
um, yeah, I didn't give a fuck about the Louvre or the Mona Lisa or any of these
yeah,
places where we're going, and so
yeah.
yeah, I got to get back there and actually take it in.
Take the culture.
uh, have you ever been arrested before the age of 18?
No, actually, no, I have not. Close, but never.
All right, good.
Mm.
Me either.
There you go. Cheers to that.
Let's see. What is your go-to dish if you have to cook for your lady or a couple that comes over? Like say me and Maddie come over tomorrow night. What are you cooking?
Oh, I make this really good prosciutto wrapped asparagus with mozzarella stuffed inside.
Oh shit,
And I
son.
grill it so it's crispy, and then you can like eat it.
We're
It's
doing a
really good.
little white wine, or a little red wine with that.
Hey, whatever you like. We could do scotch too. I don't know what kind of
Oh,
you tell me what she likes, we'll stock it up.
okay, player. All right. When was the last time you went to a casino?
Oh, casino. Probably in probably in probably in Costa Rica we went. So we went to a casino in Costa Rica. I didn't win anything,
How much did
but
you lose?
yeah, I gotta win my money back. I think I lost. I didn't gamble too much. I probably lost like $50 or something.
So you're in fucking Texas, which you would think, with the very lax gun laws there, that they would
Mhm,
have the online gambling apps on your phone like they do
mhm,
pretty much everywhere else in the United States of America. What the
mhm.
fuck is that about?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But we have these poker rooms. Do you like to play poker still? Did
I
you play
su-
poker?
I suck at poker. I'm more of a sports gambling man
Okay. Yeah,
because I
they have
do.
these poker rooms, and you just go and you sign up for a membership, and then you gamble, and then whatever you win, the house takes a percentage, and it's like some loophole where you can gamble. You basically play Texas Hold'em at these poker clubs.
Okay, and you can
Mhm.
smoke in there probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I Yeah, there are certain parishes in Louisiana where gambling, like video game gambling, where you just sit there and you just smoke all day and you're just pressing buttons.
Yeah, I don't like that though.
That shit. So my brother owns a lot of these machines, and so
No.
when I quit the school system when I first moved down here because I realized I was getting paid $11 an hour to teach.
Oh, dang, man. Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
like this was in Lafayette or Louisiana, or this is New York? This is in
No,
Louisiana?
I was getting paid like 25 an hour in New York, and then I got a job as a PE teacher, elementary school down here. And I signed up and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting healthcare, all this. Awesome.
Yeah,
This is great." And then like I did the math after my first few paychecks and I was like, "Wait a minute.
this is not it.
$11 an hour."
Yeah,
So
we that's crazy.
I'm making more. You remember that place Cafe Cottage?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That little dive bar. I'm
Mhm.
making twice as much there than I was waking up at 5 in the morning and dealing with kindergarten through fifth graders from
Molding the minds of tomorrow. Couldn't even like, yeah, they don't pay teachers enough, man. I mean, we all know that, and I don't know what it's going to take to change that. A lot of teachers just walked out here. They're like, we're done, and they left the HISD.
right.
Mm,
It's more of a thing of when you see the national rankings of where every state lines up in
mm.
order of the best education and the worst. Louisiana's always bottom 10 at that's being generous, you know?
Yeah, I
Like,
thought they were like 49th, and Mississippi was 50th, and that's why we have that phrase like, "Thank God for Mississippi."
okay, so then yeah, I was about to say I was trying to be generous, but I mean, and my girl, she got a job at UL when she moved here because she used to work in education up there too in New York, and she had to quit because first of all, underpaid. Second of all, the person in charge of her was totally incompetent. Like, so it's just like this cycle of and I mean, aside from our fathers who made things great again, uh or wait, no, maybe other people are making things great. I don't know. I can't understand it, but the point is not good, Greg, not good.
Mhm, yeah.
I just think it's pretty sad. But you know what? This state will be under water pretty soon, so who
Oh,
cares?
with global warming and
I don't,
everything.
who knows? Maybe a hurricane, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, do you pee in the shower?
Yeah. Yeah.
You brush your teeth in the shower?
No.
What kind of what kind
I love how it's like that's grosser than disgusting. Who would consider that?
the juxtaposition? I don't know. I'll let you hang yourself on that one.
Priorities.
What kind of deodorant are you rocking these days?
uh
Still an
I
Axe
think
guy?
nah, man, nah. I turned 18. Um,
I
let
can't
me
believe they're still making that shit.
hey man, the kids with the Dodge Chargers and stuff, they like them. So
Yeah, they still got 18-year-olds out there, I guess.
we still got 18-year-olds out there. I think I'm rocking like damn, it's some gel. It's some gel brand.
All right, you doing the gel. All right.
Yeah, because I don't like the white, and it powders your clothes and it's white.
Yeah. I've been doing the Dove spray. I like the Dove spray.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, I have the Dove spray as a backup, so I have like a little
Yeah, one
go
of them.
bag, the small one. So
Yeah.
if I'm really like in a hurry and I didn't get or I forgot that morning because I was in a hurry, then I can do it. And that's really, really good, like surprisingly good. Because most sprays they rub off after 2 hours. This spray lasts the whole day, like you just rubbed it on, which is really
Right.
good. It's
So
a great.
I wear an undershirt And so I'll do like the spray on the actual armpit,
Hmm.
and then the undershirt, I'll just do a little that on the
Hmm.
undershirt or the underside of the undershirt, and then
Yeah.
put the real shirt on.
No, okay,
And
okay.
then you're fucking covered,
You
dog.
double protection. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like a shield.
Yeah, because you already got it covered with the first one, but then you do
Yeah.
another one. That's yeah.
Especially in
Okay,
these
man.
hot ass climates,
Oh
I
my God. That's smart.
okay.
I may start doing that actually.
It's not a bad way to go.
Hmm.
Okay. We're finishing up here. My girl's about to get home from work, and we're gonna go eat some fucking Mexican food.
Nice.
Um, First of all, what should I order? What's your go-to at a Mexican restaurant?
Mm. Yeah, this is gonna sound so if I'm in Mexico, because my wife's from Monterrey, so she's from Mexico. So a lot of, I've had traditional Mexican food. I get it. But when I go to a Mexican restaurant in Texas, I always get nachos because I feel like I need a baseline to compare. Nachos has everything. It has the tortilla chips, which is crispy. It has the meat. It has the type. So you get to, how do they flavor their meat? How do they do that? You get the cheese. So it's like, what kind of cheese do they use? Do you use Velveeta or do they just bullshit? What do they use?
Right.
And you get to see the tomatoes. Are they fresh? It's kind of like a smorgasbord of what you have to offer at that restaurant. And if it's
So
good,
so
then
that's
I
what
know.
that's what you asked them to bring out first, and then you can make your order based on that.
Usually I don't eat so much. If it was me and you, I'd be like, let's try the nachos and then let's order. And I probably would get something
Ah,
small. You know what I mean? But if it was just for me, I like nachos fill me up, dude. I don't eat that much. I don't know how you're staying so thin, man. Like you always were, dude, but man, we're getting older. Once I hit 30, like
I
at least
switch I switched from beer to liquor.
is that all, man? It's wearing it wear you wear it well.
I mean, well, I can't show you my beer gut, but there's a little pooch.
Dude, I take a pooch over what he got the hands.
I don't have the handles yet, but I mean, I play basketball a lot, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're exercising. See, that's good.
but okay, so the last question, and by the way, thanks for asking what I'm gonna get tonight.
What are you gonna get tonight?
It's harder to fuck up a quesadilla. Let's be honest.
That's what you get? You always get the quesadilla?
Cheese and grilled chicken, and then you get a little side of guac. Come
Yeah.
on, man. Even at the work,
Quesadilla.
even at Taco Bell, they can't fuck that shit up. I mean,
That's
they,
one of my go-tos at Taco Bell.
yeah. I mean, that's pretty like straightforward.
Okay, okay.
All right, so last question, and I want you to get as deep and philosophical as you possibly can on this.
All right.
Do you wipe from the front or the? No, I'm sorry. What's gonna happen whenever we die?
What happens when we die? Oh man, how much time do we have?
We got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Oh boy. Okay. Um, I feel like I feel like just like centrifugal force, a force. The universe is made of forces. And like when you drop those balls and they do this, and you have that force that transfers from one thing to another, karma is similar to that. And I feel like the good that we put out in the world, we're like a battery in ourselves, and we put out good into the world. We put out good energy. And when we die, I would hope that the energy that expels from us gets transferred into this cosmic thing because everything has to go somewhere. It's a circle of life, like dust to dirt, dirt, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So I would hope that we're kind of placed back into this cosmic force or energy, this karmic energy, and then at some point we're you know given a chance to come back um, and do this again. I kind of more believe in the whole like Buddhist principle of reincarnation, and then as you come back, there's certain things that stick with you, and you just try to do better each time. And I think we're nice people. We make some mistakes. People are friend groups and stuff, but we're good people and we try to do right by people, and that's what matters. That's
I
really what matters at the end of the day.
I totally agree with that. And I went from being as soon as we lose consciousness, that's that. It's all black. To as I've grown older, I've sort of started to see maybe some signs of reincarnation, maybe some
Hmm. Hmm.
moving
Hmm.
on to another plane, another existence. And either way, I hope to see you there, brother. And I hope we see each other in the physical realm before
Yeah, about
that
to say, I
shit.
hope we see each other before that, and we're gonna get tacos. Well, we're gonna get nachos and quesadilla wherever we go.
Brother, it's been a pleasure. And our time is running out. I don't want it to end on us too soon. Fuck you, Zoom, for not letting us go longer. Quincy, Cameron, Hilliard, much love. Thank you
Love
for
you,
being on
man.
the show. And
Thank you for having me.
until next time, don't die.